Hello, good people, and welcome to the Amateur Hour. My name's Justin.
And I'm the one called Junior.
And today we're sponsored by EBXYA and Lofty Cat Studios. So now, quick update about what's going on recently. Tyler's not here. I don't know if you guys could tell in the intro. He got into a real bad accident. No, I'm just kidding. Unfortunately, his work does not believe that this is work as well. I mean, technically it's not. So, but anyway, yeah, he couldn't make it out. He's at work. So this is going to be a 0.5 episode. So it's going to be episode 8.5. All that means is it's not one of our average episodes. So it could end shorter if we wanted to, or it could last a little bit longer, or our topics are, be a little bit more brief, and it's not going to be as formal as our normal conversations, I guess.
What if we did something a little funky? We called it like 8 2/3. We got 2/3 of the cast here.
Or like a quarter or something. I mean, we could do that. It'll throw them off.
Yeah, and then if you ever do one with just yourself, you could be like, "This is episode blah 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 1/3."
1/3. People be like, "What? You know what? We're eating 3 Musketeers. We're at a 1 Musketeer or 2 Musketeer right now."
Yeah.
I just realized that kind of fits our vibe.
Yeah.
That candy.
I think I have 2 left.
So, I mean, I got 3, so if you want one.
No. Before I came here, I had a bunch. My mom had like the Halloween pack of the lemon heads.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's like the chewy ones and all
yeah,
that.
those are
I crack open that box, dump the whole thing in my mouth, and eat it. I have no self-control when it comes to things like that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I can't sit there and eat fruit snacks one by one.
Really?
No.
You gotta just put the
the
whole thing?
I'm an animal. I just gotta rip it open. And like sometimes I'll be like trying to chill with it. I'll be like, all right, one. I eat the one. I'm like, no. I gotta shove the whole thing in my mouth.
That's me with like when it comes to nerds. Sometimes though with nerds I get weird and I just like I'll eat it one by one.
Oh, that's weird.
I
have to shovel it. Just dump it, man.
I don't know anyone else like that, but I'll straight up just eat one by one if I wanted to.
I think it's fruit roll-ups. I would take those off, roll it in a ball.
No, come on.
Pop that sucker in my mouth.
I feel like I've done it a few times, but the only reasons was because it was like during school time, so I like rush and I'll just shove it in my mouth while I'm sitting there. But other than that, what about the Hubba Bubba, that gum that looks like a tape almost?
I think there's been a couple times I bit it on the side.
Oh, no! Oh, you bastard. Why?
Or there's when you get to like that last inch, like the last inch of diameter.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta go for it. At the end, you monster. No, I can't stand when that happens.
It's funny because I'm not a sweets person. I'll choose a piece of fruit over like candy and whatnot, but when I do get candy, it's over. No self-control.
Like Cookie Monster.
Yeah, and then I just feel like crap afterwards. So like right now I'm kind of feeling like crap because I had like three Musketeers already, 2, plus the lemon heads.
Oh my gosh, dude! See, I'm the opposite. You would think that I would be eating like that because I'm a sugar junkie.
Yeah, you are.
I love sugar. Like I would eat. I'm not even supposed to be eating this stuff. Like health update should stay away from sugar because it runs in the family diabetes. So that's something I should probably stay away from. But I don't know. I can't control myself. I'm like a child. But anyway, I do control myself when I'm eating Hubba Bubba. I eat it tape by tape. I'll probably finish it in a day, but I won't bite it like a monster.
I think I just did it once because I was like, I wonder what would happen.
A lot of flavor. That's what happened. And it'll last for maybe like 5 minutes instead of the regular one.
Like 10 seconds.
You know what gum I can't control myself around? The zebra gum. Now that you just have to put it all into your mouth.
You do because like as soon as you chew it and like you swallow your saliva, that's
it's
all
gone.
the flavor. Yeah.
15 seconds of flavor, I believe. It's just that powder. That's it. It's just the gum itself is not flavored.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this? So I find myself like licking the thing, and then I get the tattoo on my tongue because it's got like the tattoos on the stickers. I don't know if you remember it.
I do remember that.
Yeah, they still sell them at the dollar store.
Yeah.
I dive into those sometimes. Yeah, why not?
I haven't bought them in a long time.
It's kind of
a
waste, but
I probably bought them like maybe 7 years ago just for the nostalgia of it. I was like, it's been a while.
I think it's been a couple months, but I seen them and I was like, all right. And I was like, I don't know if it was like $1 because it was at the dollar store, but I kind of regretted it once I finished the pack. I was like,
Finished the pack in 10 minutes.
I was like, I felt like a time traveler, but at the same token, I was just like, this sucks.
This was a waste of my money.
Yeah, I try and actually stay away from purchasing gum because when it comes to gum, I'll finish it right away.
Yeah,
and it kind of defeats the purpose of having gum.
Yeah. Now, when you get the packages of like the cube Hubba Bubbas, how many do you pop in?
About 2.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it just keeps building on.
Yeah, and I'll continue. I won't spit it out and then get a new one. I will constantly just,
so it turns into like rubber cement.
Yeah, and then your jaw hurts. You start getting like lockjaw.
Yeah, I did that a lot as a kid, so I think that's why I got TMJ now.
Oh, really?
I see it. Oh, I can't crack it.
Oh.
No, it's not happening. You can kind of hear it, but it's usually a lot louder. I'll be eating sometimes, and it just starts popping. I'm like, all right. Well,
ooh.
I'm making my own music now. Eating.
All that for the gum.
Gum, candies. I don't know. Man. Sometimes when I'm eating too, or even back then, I used to just shovel food in my mouth.
So classic lemon heads. Those things are kind of annoying. Like where it's like almost like a jawbreaker.
Yeah.
Because when you finish the sugary flavor on the outside, you get to that nasty middle part.
I don't mind the middle.
It doesn't taste like anything. It
tastes sour.
You know, like the Fun Dip thing, the little stick.
Yeah.
It tastes kind of like that stick, just with no sugar.
Like, it tastes like a chalk stick, but sweet.
Exactly. Just a little sweet, like not even all that sweet.
No, it's not all that. But then I remember every time I would eat that stick, because I wouldn't eat it as I got the powder. Like I would shovel the powder, eat the powder, and then I'd eat the whole stick afterwards. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, that's kind of smart, though. I would be the person that, like, I finish the dip, and I'm like, oh, damn, no. And I'm just stuck with the little stick itself, and I'm like, do I eat it? Do I not? And then I'm like, well, I'm at this point, and then I eat it, and then it just tastes like nothing, and it depresses me.
Now, are you one to, like, bite candy immediately? Like when it's hard candy?
See here, I'm a little bit weird like that. I can. Not all the time, but sometimes I like a sucker. I won't finish a sucker. Yeah. I'll bite it.
I'm the same way. Something triggers in my head where I'm like, bite this thing. And then I bite it and it doesn't crack. I'm like, no, it's going to crack.
Like, just go all in.
Yeah.
You're like, it's my tooth or this candy. You're just biting
no,
down
I'm stronger than this. Ah.
You know, going with teeth, would you try and pop the bottle with your tooth, or would you be that person?
Like a Mexican Coke bottle?
Yeah,
kind of
like it's a Coke
Hell
bottle.
No.
Or...
I got enough brain cells to not do that.
See, listen, my dad used to... Funny you say brain cells. No, I'm just kidding. But, like, my dad used to be able to do that. And then as he got older, my mom would look at him like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
She's like, you're going to be a toothless old man?
Okay, if once you have learned the skill, I get it. It's like, all right, you've mastered it. You're not. I doubt you'll mess up your teeth that bad at that point because you've got the technique down.
It's
you know
a
what
risk.
I mean? So at this day and age, you know, I care about my teeth. I can't just jump in and try to learn the technique.
Yeah,
right now.
I tried it like once, and I'm not gonna lie, I almost like cut my gum.
Ooh, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. I went in. It was a jarrito. Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah, jarrito. I was like, all right, I'm going to just do this because I couldn't find a bottle opener anywhere. And I got it at a restaurant. So I was like, I'm just going to bite it. And I near close to cutting my gum or my lip. And I was just like, yeah, okay, let me just ask them. And they're like, yeah, you know, it's a bottle opener. And it was weird because it was on the wall. I've never seen that a day in my life. I was like, well, that doesn't seem sanitary.
Yeah, I went to one and it was like a weird shape to it. And I was just like, let me try it. And yeah, it worked out fine. But
really?
It just threw me off the way it was shaped.
Is it because it was from like underneath?
And then
like a hook type of
thing?
that mine was like that too, and I was just like, "What's going on?"
You had to angle it weird or something. I didn't know how to do it, so I angled it.
And then after, I like started wiping the tip of the bottle because I was like, people's germs.
Yeah. When I was at a cookout one time, there was no bottle opener, but there was this one guy that knew how to do it with the lighters.
Yeah.
So everybody was coming up to me like, "Hey man, pop my beer open," and he'd do it, and he's like, "Hey Junior, come here." I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "Hey, let me show you how to open a bottle with a lighter. It'll be cool." I was like, "All right." So I learned, and the next thing you know, he just started passing everybody to me. He's like, "Hey, he knows how to do it."
Oh, he tricked you.
Yeah, he tricked me.
Duped.
Yeah, my hands were bleeding at that point because I don't got the technique down.
Oh,
I'm like,
was that trial by fire?
Yeah,
is that how you
much.
say it?
I got one down when he was teaching me, and he's like, "All right, you're good to go."
Oh my gosh, nope.
But now it's come in handy plenty of times, so I'm grateful for that guy.
You're like, the knowledge, I will pass it down to those who need it.
Going back to that cookout, it's also funny that this guy's a really large set guy.
Yeah.
And so he's funny too. You could joke about his weight, and he'll take it. But the ground was wet, and he's sitting on one of like those folding chairs. So it has like the 4 posts.
Yeah.
4 thin posts. And he just starts sinking into the ground.
Oh.
So like every 30 minutes, he would have to get up, pull his chair out,
A new area,
and get a new area.
He was becoming the chair at that point, or becoming the ground.
Yeah, it was becoming Earth. He was becoming one with the Earth.
Yeah, like quicksand, just engulfing him.
Yeah,
he's like, I am one now. He had like a poison ivy almost from Batman.
I want to say it was him also, where we were in. It was another cookout, and this time the legs just started bending on him.
Oh, ooh. I feel like, thinking about chairs, I feel like we've broken chairs near each other, like either stepping on chairs. I don't know if it's you or Tyler.
I think it might be Tyler.
There was like, we used to have like plastic chairs and stuff, like, I guess story time, right?
Yeah.
And it was like this tiny little plastic chair, and I think I stood on it for like a second, and I fell on my face because it snapped in half. And I was like, ooh. Or another time, something I was breaking. I don't know. I'm thinking of chairs now, but now I know why. But anyway, I was riding a bike. I had this old I don't remember who was there for that either. It might have been my cousin, but anyway, it was an old tricycle. I was sitting on it. Now at the time I was like 13, 14, and the thing snapped, and the it was just like a pipe at that point, and it almost went up my rear. So
yeah, it was giving you a prostate tickle, huh?
Yeah. I almost had an examination, but not by a doctor. It was really bad. I don't know. I thought that was a really funny situation. I shouldn't have been on that tricycle being 14 years old, but I was like, let me see if I could still ride it, and the seat just snapped.
Oh, I'm sure I've done that too, like in older age, but you just got to. You can't, you just got to try it.
Have you fallen off of a chair as of recently? Like, leaning back or doing something? Nah, it's been a while.
I can't say I've ever really fallen back, leaning back on a chair.
I was playing Xbox the other day. And I was with my friends, or, playing online with my friends. And I was leaning back on one of the chairs I have in my room. And I felt...
Wait, is it the bungee one?
Not the bungee one.
Oh.
It's like a regular rolly chair. Yeah. I was leaning on it like an idiot, and I fell back, and I was so embarrassed that I fell back. I was like, oh, and then no one heard anything. I guess they thought I was reacting to the game, but I literally just fell, and no one was saying anything. It was just like, oh, and then you were just like hearing like the slapping of the microphone in the background, because I could hear it because I had the monitor turned on, so I could hear myself. And I'm like, no one's going to react to me falling? But I'm kind of glad, because my face was red, because I'm like, what an idiot. I'm like 22 years old, and I'm falling off a freaking chair.
Nah, I've always had great balance when it comes to chairs.
No, I fell so many times, especially in high school. Boy, I would lean so much in like those computer chairs.
Yeah.
That wasn't smart of me, because they have wheels. They have wheels.
Yeah.
I'll fall straight off.
Stop doing that.
I want to talk about. I have a rant for you.
Yeah, you were telling me about this rant. You posted it on all social medias. Did
Yeah.
it save the video? So you did it take after take?
I did it take after take twice. So for those of you who follow the Amateur Hour and seen it on the Amateur Hour, well, I posted it on there. Okay, so it's also goes a little bit more embarrassing because I recorded two different takes. Sorry, but I put it on 3 different social medias. I put it on my own social media, as well as my own Snapchat, and then I also carried it from my own social media, tagging the Amateur Hour, and I put it on to the Amateur Hour from there.
Nice.
So it's pretty stupid, I guess.
All right. Do you have it saved?
I think I do.
Can we play it on the mic right now?
I don't know.
Is that something you want to do, or do you just want to talk about the
I could
topic?
talk about it.
All right.
Yeah, I could talk about it. You know, we'll put it probably like under highlights if you guys want to watch the rant, because I had at least 4 or 5 people texting me back and saying, "You're funny, please stop." And I was like, I was pretty proud of myself.
But if they find you funny, why do they want you to stop?
Because they were laughing so hard. It was like one of those LMAO, please stop.
Stop. Oh my god.
Or just stop, you're not funny.
Yeah.
Or you're funny, stop, okay? Like tell someone they're funny so that way they don't continue the joke. Anyhow,
Yeah.
I forgot to move one of the sound panels, but it's okay. I think we sound good.
Raw and uncut.
Raw and uncut. If you get reverb,
That's the name of this episode. You're not going to know any of the topics. It's just going to be called Raw and Uncut.
Yeah, what was it, two-thirds?
Yeah.
2/3.
Episode 8, 2/3.
Just hashtag it 8 2/3.
Yeah.
What's that, Harry Potter 8 1/4 or something like that? I don't know it either. I like Harry Potter, but I
like it too, but I didn't
guess
have
I'm
the
not
patience
that
to
deep
read
in the lore. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not that deep into reading.
Yeah, no. The only thing I read is like Star Wars and Marvel stuff. But
Well, yeah, I like to read comics, but I don't know. Sometimes it's just I don't want to waste all my money on it.
Oh yeah,
Because it adds up real quick.
I know. And even if you're getting the dollar comics that are like from 80s, 90s, you're still like sacrificing a lot of money because you don't realize you get a huge stack. We didn't go to free comic book day. Yeah. It was so sad. We usually go every year, and we get some decent comics.
Yeah, but maybe one of the most recent books I read that was my favorite was American Psycho.
Oh, you actually read the book?
The book's good. Yeah.
Is this Stephen King?
No, that's Bert Easton Ellis or something.
Okay. So you like the book? Have you seen the movie?
I watched the movie afterwards. I'd never seen the movie, and then I watched the movie.
I've never seen the movie.
Oh, it's a classic.
I hear it because it's with Christian Bale and everything, and I'm curious. I'm not going to lie, I'm curious. As in reading, I haven't done much reading. I might start reading because...
I do want to start reading more.
You know, we could probably do book narrations
book
and stuff
club?
like that. Yeah. Yeah, book club. I mean, we could do that if we
Yeah,
really
we could.
wanted to be honest.
More content.
Yeah, content, you know?
How many pages have you read? Like 1.
Yeah, I'll be like 5. And then I stopped and I read the synopses.
I read the Cliff Notes.
A lot of times I end up actually doing that with books that I even want to read. Or I just start researching it myself, and I'm spending more time doing research than what I could have just read the book or like read up on that superhero or something like that.
Definitely.
I dive deep.
Now, are you able to read books and comics online?
Like sit there and read them completely online?
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't like it. I like being able to turn pages.
Yeah, it's probably, and then you get to see your accomplishment of seeing like how thick or thin you read. If you read it like it was a bit thin, you're disappointed in yourself. But if you didn't read it, well, it was you got super far, and then you're like, you know what, pat on the back, good job for me. You know, it's one of those things where yeah. So I haven't read in a while. The last book I read was, I think it's like Think Like Success by Steve Harvey, actually. It was a really good book. It was a business book.
Was that for class?
No.
No?
Leisure. My mother actually had the book, and she felt that it would be very informative for me. because it was a lot about business and media almost, and how Steve Harvey kind of got his I don't know, his footing in the
Yeah.
comedy industry, as well as business wise, as well as positivity. It was a very good book. I would suggest anyone read it.
Yeah, I got really into The Roots, and then I got really I wanted to read more on Questlove, and he's got a couple books out, so I read his memoir, which was really good. And then I started reading like this. It's basically like the Bible for Prince. It's just like when he was recording Purple Rain, it's just like documentation of all his stuff. That dude was an animal. I got through maybe like half that book. That book was like really big.
Really?
Yeah, it was a pab. You know what a pog is?
No. Explain. What? Is it that funny?
Yeah. So pog. If you ever see a white girl on social media and she has her butt out or something, and she does the hashtag pog.
Yeah.
Yeah, fat ass white girl.
Oh my
I had
God.
a pab. That book was a pab, a fat ass book.
Okay.
I think that's what it stands for.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go with
we're
that.
trend setting. It's okay. We can
No,
be trend setting.
I'm referring to the pog. I could be wrong with that.
Oh.
But that's what makes sense.
It makes sense now. Again, trendsetters.
Yeah.
So if you're white girl, no, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, and then when I got done reading Questlove's memoir, I was like in the zone where I was just like, I want to read everything.
Really?
But it was during school, so I was like, I can't read everything.
Was it like a business book or just memoirs?
No,
and
it was
like
just a
how he got started and everything.
Yeah, like his childhood, the struggles, getting started, and all that.
I know they're quite famous group. I haven't really listened to them other than on Jimmy Fallon, but other than that,
Damn.
I probably should. Like,
Oh, it's great stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, I growing up, I hated reading, and so it was very odd for me to like want to read, and then I wasn't able to.
Yeah,
so it's just ironic.
I remember, like, I think you started reading because then you read the last book. I remember when you started. It was like towards the end of high school. You were getting into like what? No, it was like middle end. You were reading the King Arthur book.
Oh hell yeah! That
Didn't you
book
read
was great.
Stephen King's It?
No. I
Oh
didn't
no.
read.
Okay.
I want to.
I read
I
all
wanna-
the notes on it and everything.
I want to read some Stephen King's books just because
Real
I've
trippy.
heard. Yeah, I heard they're trippy.
Yeah, when you really get into the actual story of it in the book, it's honestly a lot cooler than the movie. I'm not gonna lie.
And a
It's
lot of-
weird.
Yeah, weird.
It deals with a lot of like alien sort of like that space turtle that everyone talks about is a big thing in that book, but it's really cool when you get into it. Like I said, I didn't read the full book, but I went through all the spark notes and synopses and summaries about it and other people's take on the book and everything,
Yeah.
and I really got deep into it. It's a weird book. It's weird. It's cool. I find it better than the movie.
Well, that's how it usually goes.
I read articles too. I get into stupid news articles, or if I'm looking into, like, recently I've been reading up a little bit on the one of the new Volkswagens and stuff like that. When it comes to like SUVs and like that stuff, I read rather than just.
That's research, man.
Yeah. Again, that's what we were talking about earlier. I get into the research part of it.
Sorry, I just needed to confirm that Pog was.
Oh. Yeah, it says it here. And it's with a PHT, fat.
Yeah.
That's the good
So
kind.
we had a pab.
Yeah, he had a pab. So on to my rant, because
Yeah,
we started getting into our own thing.
Circle back.
Circling back. So I've recently had become single. I think I don't know those of you. I don't really talk about my relationship life on here, or really to a lot of people. I guess to you guys and a few other close friends, I'll get into it. But yeah, I had a girlfriend at the time. We broke up. Whatever. I don't even want to get into it. But anyway, so recently single. Justin over here, he's trying to talk to any suitors and
Anything that breathes.
anything that breathes at this point, because I was in a relationship for about a year, and in that year I lost a lot of I guess ability to go out there and talk to people.
Charisma.
Yeah, charisma, pizzazz, throwing it out there, saying like, hey, my name's Justin and so, and I got out of touch with society for a little while. Now, I used to, not to say I was never really good at dating, because way back when I was dating at least like new girl every 2 weeks, and if it was the same girl, it was about like every week I was on a date.
You're talking about after high school, right?
Yeah, after high school. I didn't date anyone in high school. Then when I got out of high school, I was going crazy, just dating nonstop. And believe it or not, though, these dates did not consist of anything really crazy physical or anything like that. A lot of times it was just like, I like conversation. I mean, this is why I have a podcast. And because I talk, I'm a big talker. I enjoy getting to know people. And I enjoy the experience of dating, because you're getting to know someone, you're both eating, you get to understand different foods.
I like how you say eating.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing you could do on a date around here.
Right? Or go to the movies. That's another thing we do.
Movies are weird because you're not talking to that person. You just sit and watch a movie.
Me and this one girl, we went to go see Insidious, and we were talking through the whole movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't that good. We were like joking the whole time.
The first time I went to the movies with my now girlfriend, but at the time we were just talking, I had bought some alcohol, and we went to see Justice League.
Yeah.
And we talked all the time, but we didn't miss much.
Yeah, I remember you telling me, because I was like, "Hey, did you see Justice League?" And you were like, "Yeah, no, I didn't really care." I was like, "Bro, I needed some take on this." But yeah, you didn't really miss out on much. The movie had potential, but went down the garbage.
Every piece I remember from the movie is just the random villain popping up, and it's like, I got this piece.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
It
happened very quickly.
It was very much too related to Avengers and going after like the key, or the stones, the cubes.
Yeah.
There's always something they're going after. But anyway, like I enjoy that part of dating. It's fun, or you go bowling, and the only things you can do in Indiana.
Yeah,
and in Chicago, if you have money, well, then you can do a little bit more, but it's still not that much besides eating and museums.
What's the go-to dinner date spot?
Dinner dates, honestly, it changes. I always ask the girl.
Okay.
I'm usually down for... Yeah, I'm down for... If it's like Asian food or something, I try and... I let everyone know I'm a picky eater. Someone once told me that they had kids menu taste. That's kind of like what I have.
Yeah,
like kids like burgers, steak, meat, nothing, I don't like barbecue or mustard, or like, I don't know. I'm a picky eater, for those of you who don't know. Which is, I think we've already covered.
We have.
But anyway, going back to, so dating, whatever you like, I don't like to make it too much the same, because, again, I don't want to have a spot that I take all the girls
that makes sense.
on a date. And I also, if they want to go somewhere expensive like an Outback Steakhouse or Giordano's or something around that range, like, I don't want to be like, oh, no, I don't have money. I do it. I suck it up and I pay for the meal. Like, it's all right.
At some point you just got to be like, hey, we're going to split this.
Yeah. Money's just, it's just a thing. We shouldn't worry about it. But anyway, so I enjoy the conversation, the really getting to know someone aspect. I like to talk on phone, It's really nice to have it. So anyway, now I had lost my touch. Because it's been a while since I've really connected with anyone in the outside world and tried talking to other people. And, I don't know how to, I'm getting to that point where I'm just like, well, how do I talk to someone? Like, what do I do? Like, whatever. But anyway, I was talking to this other girl, and we talked for like maybe 2 weeks. We went on like 2 dates, 2-hour dates,
Nice.
by the way, which I hate an hour date. Can I put that out there?
Why, man?
Any of the dates have you been on, were they just an hour, like short and sweet like that?
I don't know.
A lot of dates I've been on were like 3-4 hours.
What were you doing? Dinner?
Like dinner, a movie afterwards, or just dinner, and we'd go out for a walk or something.
I guess, yeah.
So, but when it came to this other date, it was just like an hour, and it was upsetting because
What
it's
were
like
you doing?
it's just eating.
Just eating.
Yeah, and it's like, you try and talk to someone, and I mean, we were talking about like how this modern generation's like one of those that are on their phone all the time. So it's kind of hard to have that social aspect with people nowadays because
Yeah.
they're so used to being on their phone or always being entertained by something rather than, sitting back and enjoying the moment. So anyway, we went on 2 dates. It was an hour or whatever. I was still talking to her through text, and I've at least called her like one other time. And a lot of times, like, I didn't mind talking to her. So I was bored. I was sitting at home one day. I got home out of work. I was tired. And, yeah, I didn't want to do it. I mean, I still have homework due now. I'll probably do it Friday. But yeah, I didn't feel like recording or doing anything of the such. So I was having a lazy day. I was like,
Yeah.
let me relax, whatever. And I was like, man, I really want to talk to someone. I'm like, I'm super bored and I have nothing to do. I need conversation
Yeah.
because Justin's going crazy. Especially, again, now newly single, I'm not used to not having conversation. You best believe with my ex, I was either making calls all the time, texting, Snapchatting.
Whoa. Easy, man. Easy. Don't say all that. You're going to put yourself in a bad spot. Don't come off that strong.
Oh.
You're gonna scare away some potential.
Oh, yeah. I was just having conversation.
Yeah, you did these calls every other day or something, right?
Yeah.
I'm just
I was
messing with
just
you.
having conversation. Yeah, but anyway, I was used to having conversation. So anyway, I text this girl. I said, "Hey, so and so." Again, not gonna put her name out there, what she does
Wow,
or anything.
you put her name in the message.
Yeah, I said, "Hey, like, can I call you?"
Hey, silence.
Why? That's funny. I don't know, but I said,
Because it's funny to me because you're trying so hard not to say the name.
yeah, I said, hey, blankety blank,
Hey, blinkety blank face.
Hey, forget about it. Hey, girl, woman. But yeah, so anyway, I was like, hey, like, what are you doing right now? Oh, I'm doing work or whatever. She was saying we're having conversation. I was like, okay. I was like, well, can I call you? And she was like, why? I was like, well, because I'd like to talk to you, and just like, I said, I said I would like to talk to you. Like, I'm bored and I'd like to talk to you. And like after that, she got so offended
Oh.
that I told her. She responded back with this. Now, for those of you who don't know me, sarcasm goes over my head. A lot of times people try and be sarcastic to me, and I don't know if maybe it's just sucky sarcasm, but it'll just right over Justin's head. He doesn't understand. But anyway, she told me, I'm glad I can be there for when you're bored. And I was like, either she's being sarcastic or she like generally means like, hey, I'm glad I can be there for you. I didn't know. So I had to ask. I was like, was that sarcasm? And she's like, yes. I was like, oh. I was like, well, why? She's like, because you said you're bored and you want to talk to me. And I'm sorry. I'm not going to be that girl that's going to be talking to you because you're bored. I was like, I said, I hope you know I didn't mean it in any sort of offensive way. I just meant like I had nothing to do and I wanted to talk to you.
Man, usually you hear like, I don't know, you'll hear some conversation where it's like, oh, you only hit me up when you're bored because you won't get some.
Yeah.
Hey, it's just like you're trying to have a conversation.
I want to get some conversation. That's all I want was conversation. And she got so offended.
I mean, granted, I would have left out the bored part, man.
I see. That's what I hear. But it's still, I was like, what do you mean bored? How are you offended by this? So she's like, if you, so I still tried calling her and she didn't answer.
Well,
She's like, stop
obviously.
calling me. And I was like, okay. I said, why, you don't want to speak to me at all now? Like, what's going on? She said, no. I said, okay, your wish is my command. Got rid of her on my Snapchat. And then went straight to ranting. But my rant about this is like, okay, am I not supposed to talk to you, Junior, because I'm bored? Like, isn't that why we have conversations? Is because we're bored and we have to entertain ourselves and we like the connection of other people, so we have conversation?
Kind of. But you don't go at someone like, hey, I'm bored. Entertain me.
It's not. It wasn't. I wasn't asking her to jump around or like. I wasn't hitting her up for the nasties. That wasn't even it. I literally was just like, "Hey, I would like to talk to you." And it's like, okay, I'm stuck in this weird part of this dating world that you can't be too eager because it comes off as like too strong, too weird. You seem like a creep. And then I'm also stuck between, okay, well, you can't seem not too eager because then you're just a douchebag. So I was just trying to go in between and say, like, hey, I'm bored, like as a conversational thing. Not because I was bored and I'm like, hey, dance like a monkey and I'll make me happy type of thing. But no, she got into big rant and she got super upset. And I'm like, no, like, I didn't even mean it that way. If you know me, you obviously know I'm not going to be a douchebag. And that's like, I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't get it. What? I can't have conversation with people.
You can, but you can't say
I'm
because
bored.
you're bored. Yeah.
That's horrible. I used to say it before and I don't know. That's stupid. I think
Yeah,
it's
just leave it
it's
out.
dumb.
Just leave it out.
I mean, I'll leave it out, but I shouldn't be subjected to leaving it out because everyone's going to be so offended because I said I was bored. I don't know. It's stupid.
It is a little bit, but I see that point.
I can see it like if I was like that character where I was just like, hey girl, I'm bored.
Give me
Like,
some nookie.
yeah. Let's it's midnight and let's rustle the feathers. I see. I can't. I don't even know because I don't even do that type of stuff. So it's like, how do you?
Either way, man, it's just the fact that you did the only to her. It seems like the only reason you're talking to her is because you're bored.
See, I mean, I guess I can get that. And if she's out there and listening to this, that's not at all what I meant. But it's also it's weird of you to get that offended. At least because I tried having conversation and I tried fixing it in regards to telling her like, hey, like I didn't mean it any sort of way. Like I just want to talk to you. And you still were offended? Like, okay, and then it's like, where's the civilness to talking to someone without having to worry about, oh, she's going to be offended and now I have to suffer the repercussions and instead she's just not going to want to talk to me at all. Like, that's stupid. I don't know. I feel like you should be able to have conversation with someone and say, hey, listen, I felt this way. Oh, okay. But, you know, in a perfect society, right, we would have conversation and talk to each other and tell each other, like, hey, I'm offended. Oh, okay. Let me explain my side of things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like we're adults.
It sucks it went down that way. Like, it didn't have to be that extra on her part, I guess.
That's what I feel. It was a bit extra.
Still, you shouldn't have said you're bored.
I'll accept that. I'll accept that I shouldn't have said that I was bored, but I will still stand by my
and that's a very strong come on, man. Being like, hey, I'm gonna call you on the phone.
Yeah, I like phone conversations.
I know you do,
I try
but
and even have conversations with my friends, like a girl or a guy. It doesn't matter. I rather talk on the phone.
That's not the society nowadays, though. You know.
I know. They're just like a phone call means you guys are getting married or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's horrible. Oh my gosh.
That ring, man.
This dating world is it's insane for me. I can't find anyone that doesn't get outraged by something. And I'm like, listen, I'm like one of the most peaceful guys. I believe I'm a very peaceful guy. If that sounds big-headed of me, so be it. But I know I'm not a bad guy. But I get a lot of times where like this little offense makes it seem like I'm such a horrible person. Mind you, I never even had any sort of physical contact with this girl other than a hug. So that goes to show you, like, my intentions were nothing else. So I could see if my intentions were in the wrong place.
Have you been like, hey, let me make it up to you. I'll buy you dinner again.
No, it was too nuts for me, and I booked it.
You know what? That's right. Yeah, that's a safe choice.
Yeah, because I'm not paying for another, couple dollars dinner, and for just like for what, for you to as an apology dinner. and for us to just still be in that same situation if I hit you up later and say, hey, I'm mildly bored.
No, man.
I have nothing to do. It's like I'm not a big person that like I'm not trying to lie as well,
It's
and
not
say like,
lying.
hey, I missed your eyes and your voice, and I really want to see you. I mean, I guess it was kind of like that, but I didn't want to be too strong. Again, I was trying to find a middle ground between friendly, or not too eager and yeah, eager, and I guess I botched it by saying, "Hey, I want to talk to you because I was bored." But who asked someone, "Hey, I want to call you"? Why? I've never in my life have ever asked anyone why.
Because no one talks on the phone now, man. That's too serious.
It's so weird. I hate it. I hate it.
You know what's funny? It's like, we always struggled back in the day to not use all our minutes. We would wait till the night or wait till the weekend when you got the free unlimited nights and weekends minutes.
Yeah.
And now we got unlimited minutes. And
No one wants it. No one wants it. It's only strangers call or weird people.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, no. We don't get into phone call conversations anymore. It was super weird. I don't know. I myself was a little bit offended because I'm like, what? You don't want to talk to me on the phone? I'm like, oh, now I'm getting offended. Like, I don't know. I was outraged. I did the most mature thing possible. I was like, okay, you don't want to talk to me, and then bye. And I just unfriended her, and I don't really want to rekindle that. That was
Respect that.
yeah, it was just too weird for me. I'm sorry. That was just too weird. It's too much drama. I think that was drama where drama didn't need to be.
Yeah.
Another scary thing about like today's society is like, I'm a hypochondriac. Okay, a little bit. I'm not gonna say entirely, but germs. If I get sick, I'll start researching, and then all of a sudden I think I'm dying because of the Google researching. And
Yeah.
you get into some weird things. Like, I once bit my tongue. I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? And I didn't remember me biting my tongue. So I went into this whole research. And in that research, it leads you into STDs, right?
Whoa.
And I was going down a dark hole. And I was in STDville. Like, super tasty donuts all the way.
Because you had the canker sore, right?
No, I don't get cankers. From the bite?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was freaking out, right? Granted, I haven't kissed anyone forever, but anyway,
Yeah, it doesn't work like that, man.
I know, but it's freaky, right? So my point is I was getting freaked out or whatever. So like now I'm thinking, like HIV, like that's something you don't know if someone has. Like they can look completely normal, and how do you like go on a date, and even if it's just like an innocent kiss someone, knowing that there's HIV out there, and like if she's been with someone before, you don't know that guy's history or the other history before that. It's a weird time.
Yeah, I get that, but also I don't think you can get HIV through saliva.
Yeah, or herpes. I mean, sorry,
Herpes, the good old herp.
Yeah.
But you need to
that's
have
what I meant.
You need to have the blisters, I think, for it to really transfer.
No, it's through saliva. Yeah, I was doing some mad research, buddy. Saliva, in that saliva on your skin, you can get it. It's insane. It's insane. Whether you have blisters or not, or even the
I
medicine.
would assume everybody has herpes at this point then.
Exactly. Super weird. Like, what do you think of? I'm trying to get over this and like step out there, and get out there and start talking to people. But then when that's like in the back of your head saying, hey, you better watch out. She might have the good old herp. And you're like, oh my gosh. Or like if she bit her lip or, something, notice a little sore and now you're freaking out. You're like, oh my gosh, what does she have? So I'm like down this dark rabbit hole of not knowing. And it's like now too, and like in all seriousness, like we're in the society where if you're going to get offended, like what happens if someone wants to be sexually active? Now you have to ask each other, okay, well, can you get a test so that way I know you're clear?
You never
and then
done
that person will get offended.
No, I do it to be straight up like, hey.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
but,
well, I try to get a feel for how they are, like, you know.
Yeah, but I could imagine seeing someone get offended. If someone got offended that I said I was bored, now think about like, hey, will you get an STD check and I'll get one too? They'll be like, what?
That's more for something serious, like if you guys are a serious couple.
Well, even if you weren't
if
a
it's
serious
a one-night
couple,
stand, that's tricky.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point. If you're trying to over here get the howdy doody, and you shouldn't
howdy doody, some of that booty.
Exactly, and I'm not recommending people do that, but what I'm recommending is if you are doing that, please get yourself checked. Have that stuff ready to go.
That's important. Every situation I've tried to work it out where it's like, hey, have you been tested?
Yeah, it's one of those things because you need that nowadays.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
definitely.
You can't just trust people. She could be a lovely girl, sweet as can be, but you have to look into that, especially if they've been with someone. Because you never know.
You're putting a little too much emphasis on women, but also men,
well,
too.
Well, men, too. My point, I'm saying emphasis on women because I'm a guy, and I'm thinking of the other end. So, but yes, guys, too. That's what I'm saying. If you're a guy, too, I would suggest that you have one, they have one, so that way, even swap.
I feel like it might be easier for girls to just be like, tell the dudes to get STD checks.
Right? Because guys are supposed to just be like, oh, okay, yeah, sure.
No, just because if you say it to, I feel like if you say it to a chick, she might get a little mad.
See?
Whereas us dudes would just be like,
I just wish there wasn't that stipulation,
Well, dudes are hounds.
Yeah, guys are hounds. Yeah.
Whatever gets them the howdy doody, some of that booty, they'll go get that test and be like, hey, look, I'm clean. What's up?
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Probably how much does that stuff even cost?
Well, there's like free clinics. There's Planned Parenthood. They do
we have options, right? There's options out there.
I can't give you an exact price. Part of me wants to say free, but I'm not 100% positive.
So yeah, quick education for you guys out there and gals.
Education.
Please, look. Well, first off, research this stuff before you guys are getting all crazy out there. And at the same time, I feel like it's important in any sort of relationship, serious, not serious, to just be open with one another, especially when it comes to getting involved physically.
Yeah,
and to be open with one another just emotionally. I feel like people shouldn't get as offended anymore.
Man, I feel like STDs are almost becoming norms. It's like, oh, it's the herpes.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, dude.
Everybody has herpes.
Yeah, he's like, I got the herp last week.
Shit, I got chlamydia, but I'm on some medication. It'll clear up.
And that's the thing is, I want to tell people it's not normal. So stop. Please be careful out there. Don't be silly, as those people say.
And wrap your willy.
Yes, don't be fool, wrap the tool. All them rhymes out there. I know it's kind of something.
Cover the clam before you slam.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's a little bit vulgar, but it's not so vulgar. You guys need to hear this, and gals need to both hear this sort of information, because if you're not properly going out there and dating one for the right reasons, or you're free to live your life however you want, just do it safe and be very open to other people as well and respect them in that regard. But with that said, we're a little bit over break time. It's at 15 minutes. So we're going to take our quick break, and you guys are going to sit through our sponsors.
And enjoy it.
Yes.
You're going to sit through it and enjoy it.
And enjoy it. And maybe look in the description, do a little clickety-clack, and, give them a follow. Tell them, just literally comment on one of their posts and say, hey, or hey.
Blank.
Get high-quality XLR cables from EBXYA. EBXYA makes keeping track of your cables easier by delivering 6 different color coding options. Their cables are made with a durable metallic connector, which allows your cable to last longer. Their cables are also made with a flexible, durable PVC jacket cable, imported with remarkable tenacity, elasticity, waterproof, mold-proof, and anti-cracking. Keep your sound intact and search EBXYA on Amazon today.
Hey, Justin, you like to sing, right? Give us a little something.
Hey!
You need to take that over to Lofty Cat Studios. You can record that kind of music there. They got drum kits, acoustic pianos, Fender and Martin guitars. They can help you get your music on all streaming platforms and get you some CDs made.
All right, guys, and I hope you enjoyed that word from our sponsors, and I hope you're on their webpage right now, clickety-clacking, you know, or click their webpage. Look them up, give them likes, and you're talking to them, saying, hey,
telling your friends about them.
Yeah, tell your friends too. I mean, if you have friends that are artists, EBXYA and Lofty Cat Studios can actually come in handy. They're hand in hand. Why do you think?
Or even if you just have friends, just tell them about them.
Yeah, just say, hey, you heard of EBXY? And they're going to be like, no. And you're like, well, let me tell you about them.
Yeah.
They have a casing of, I forget the commercial because I know I wrote it, but I don't remember the spot. I'm sorry. But yeah, you know, give them a follow. And you know what? Give us a follow, okay? Give us a follow. Like, you know, I put a link tree, actually, down in the description of every single episode. So when you click that, it's gonna have our SoundCloud page, obviously what we're on. It's gonna have our Twitter, our Instagram. We predominantly, I guess, work a little bit more frequently on Instagram, but I don't forget about them Twitters. You know, the tweets. And I believe and it'll take you to our YouTube channel, which is currently
inactive.
Yeah, it's inactive, but if you want to subscribe, that would be great. We are gonna have content for you guys. It's just I remember a while back, I think it was like episode 5 or 3.
You made a pretty big promise.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4. I said I was gonna do a commercial for you guys. For our video, actually, like a teaser trailer for you guys. But unfortunately, things kind of been pushed back. Our scheduling's been weird. It's cold out now. And what I wrote for that teaser trailer might not really work. But we have a few other teaser trailers of mine.
Yeah, you can still do it. We'll just be cutting diamonds the whole time.
Yeah, we'll just be super cold. Just doing. Super cold. But yeah, so you know, we're still planning that and figuring stuff out. So if you guys want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, we're more than happy to accept them or accept you guys.
Get on early so then you can rub it in your friends' faces and just be like,
say you're one of the first of the. I mean, it currently has 11 subscribers, so come on.
Wow.
I mean, people are subscribing on this platform. I believe we also have 11 as well. And with that said, you guys have given us a whopping 74 plays on our episode 4, Combating Negativity and Crazy Spending Habits. So, and if you guys haven't heard it, I urge you to check it out. People are enjoying it. If we get up to 100 plays or something like that on that particular episode or any other episode as well. So please tell your friends, share to your friends, and you guys might be up for a giveaway. I'm thinking of doing a giveaway, okay? Yeah. I'm not going to say where or when.
And we're not going to confirm that's going to be a date with Justin, but, you know?
You know, if we're talking about
your
dating,
dreams might come true.
If you're okay with calls. No, I'm just kidding. You know, so yeah, we'll be doing a giveaway. So if you guys, again, re-listen to it if you want, but just share it, tell your friends about it, and you guys might be eligible to win the giveaway, whatever it might be. So it's something I'm planning. So I hope you guys are ready for that. So we got a new segment.
It's a weekly segment, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a weekly segment. So every episode we have just about. We're gonna talk about you know, if you know, we got a little. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about weird things on the World Wide Web.
still working on the segment title, but
Yeah. So weird things on the World Wide Web. So
I love alliteration.
Yeah, I mean it's WWW, you know, World
Yeah,
War.
it's better than the KKK.
Yeah, yeah. Like So tell me something weird you saw, Junior.
There's a couple. Let's see. The funniest one was I was just watching someone's Instagram story, and he posted this video of this guy in a store. He's just like standing at a corner of the store, and he's just, minding his own business. Next thing you know, you see him shake his pant leg, and two brown things fall out. I don't think it was chocolate.
Was it a Three Musketeer?
Yeah, I don't think it was a Three Musketeer. So he shakes it, walks off.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting it was a butt musketeer.
Oh my gosh.
And next thing you know, this guy turns the corner, and his shoe grabs hold of the poo-poo, and he slides.
Wait, so you're telling me the dude drops some tears and then slips on it? Shakes some tears and then slips on it?
No. A separate guy turns the corner.
Oh my gosh.
And he went skiing for a second.
No. Why? That's so weird. Like, what the heck is that? Wait, okay, what do you think's going? Was it old guy?
I can't remember.
Fairly young, tripping
maybe
on like
middle-aged.
LSD. Like,
I don't know. Maybe he just had to go and toilets were filled.
Looked a bit drugged up, or
maybe drugged up.
Do you think this is like a habit that he might have? Like, where
maybe
he's just like
some people are just cynical. Some people just want to
watch the world burn.
Yeah,
the good old Joker. He's the Joker of the butt musketeers, as you said.
Yeah.
That's so nasty. Like, I just, how do you even finagle that to fall down your leg? Like, that's some major butt work. Like, how does it not like get smeared already as you're walking? Like, is it just how loose were his pants? Was he wearing slacks?
It was like shorts or pants. It wasn't tight pants or anything. But he
like
just
regular fit jeans.
He was able to grab some of the leg and shake, and there was enough room for it to just boop boop.
Tyler should have been there. He would have recorded it.
Yeah.
Recorded the drop, send it to his brother or something. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I felt very bad for the guy who's just, minding his own business, turns the corner, slips, falls, and you just see him so confused. Like, what?
I'd be traumatized.
For real.
Like, did I step on a cosmic brownie?
Cosmic brownies outside the water are, they're not something you want to smell.
Oof, man, like, I just imagine the guy. I could see him going to a therapist after that and like, hey, doctor, so what's your problem? Why are you here?
Sorry, it makes me think of the one Rick and Morty episode. He's like, what's everybody eating poop in this book for?
Practically. Like, what's going on? Tell me what's been bugging you? Well, I was at the store the other day, Whole Foods. I was walking, and I turned the corner, and then it happened. He starts crying. He's like, I can't handle it. It was poo. I slipped on poo. And then, like, his doctor's just, like, jaw-dropping. I can't take this case. I'm sorry. I'm sending you over to another specialist that deals with PTSD.
The D first for poop.
He's forever like scarred with that, Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. But that is pretty weird. There's a weird thing that I want to talk about that we both seen that has been like trending for like the
really?
past few weeks. The spider thing.
Oh.
So there's this thing on the internet for those of you who don't know, and I urge you to look it up. So there's like this hair on a wall. And these people like either poke at this hair or they go to pick it up. This is a clump of hair. But it's actually not a clump of hair. It's a clump of daddy long legs.
You know, the freakiest spiders you can get.
Yeah, the nasty long legs.
And freaky, I mean, you know, daddy freaky.
A little, you know, so if you have dad problems, no, it's a spider for you.
I won't lie, that was a rip off of a meme I saw. It was like, yeah, let's call these. It was like scientists. Let's call these long legs, and he's like, no, let's make it freakier.
Daddy long legs. Oh yeah, one of those things,
Yeah.
right? Bump bump chicka chicka. Like, yeah, no, like, so I don't know what's up with this weird phenomenon of people grabbing a clump of these daddy
Ugh.
long legs. They're
I'm
literally, it's in their hands.
I'm getting the heebie-jeebies. just
And then
thinking
they
about it.
start like slowly running off or whatever and like crawling up the people's arms or just crawling away. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
And there's so many.
Yeah, it's like
Ugh.
there's more than like 20, more than like 30.
I get uncomfortable when ants take up like a whole sidewalk square. You ever seen that?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how they get it so perfectly into a square and don't cross any boundaries,
It's insane.
but it's nasty.
It's like, you know, when I was a kid, bugs were cool. As I got older, bugs are nasty. They're the epitome of...
They were always nasty to me. I remember when the ants would take up those squares, I'd ride my scooter through it.
Oh, just crush them.
Yeah.
See, me and my brother had this fascination with like killing bugs. Like we were like bug hunters
You guys are psychopaths.
when we were kids. I mean, not really. We're ridding the world of nasty bugs. That's how we saw it as kids, right? So, but yeah, no, like that was the nastiest thing. Why are you gonna go on the internet? Or first off, why are you just gonna like just fondle this hair, this clump of daddy long legs? That's so gross.
Yeah.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
just so long and lengthy. And,
Hey, and there's this little perfect circular body just walking around.
I guess I was reading something. I guess they're not technically the same species as spiders or something. like that.
Really?
Yeah, because I think spiders, the head is separate from the body or something. Like those are two separate body parts.
Oh, and the daddy long leg, it's like its body is the.
It's all one thing, I think, or something.
That's nasty.
You guys could fact check me, but it was along those lines.
They don't bite you, right? I don't think.
They don't bite you, but there's always been this rumor that daddy longlegs are the most poisonous spider. Their fangs are just too small to get their venom in you. But that's not true either.
Yeah, I don't think that's true. I mean, they're just gross. What else you got? What else you got?
No, let's stay on this for a
Oh,
second because
okay.
spiders freak me out. I hate spiders. Man.
I have arachnophobia. Like I'll freeze up and I'll start sweating when it's a
Yeah.
spider.
I remember it still happens at my parents' house where there's a spider that just builds a web right next to the front door.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember coming countless times in the middle of the night, and I don't know if this dude's like, what the hell are you doing here? Because he just starts shaking. He just starts shaking his web, and I'm like, hey, man, I'm just trying to get through the door. Leave me alone.
He's like, hey, get out. He's just shaking.
What are you doing here?
Come at me, bro. Come at me.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's
He's
fling
flexing on
himself
me.
at. Oh my gosh.
He's flexing on me, and I can't do nothing else. I just sit there like a little punk.
No. You're like, you're lucky I got 2 hands, bro. I'll be at you. He's like got 6 hands, just trying to swing at you. Or
Oh,
something.
man.
Spiders are disgusting.
And then you
anyone-
got the people who crush them with their hands.
Okay, so
So the spider I'm talking about
yeah.
is at least maybe 2 inches in diameter.
Oh,
And it's
my.
fat.
What is
And my
this?
stepdad just goes and just smacks him, like,
He'll just slap it.
slap it.
What's wrong with that man?
I don't know. There's a lot of things, but
That's one of them. We'll start the list. Oh, step 1, or number 1, smacking spiders vigorously.
yeah.
I've been so how I got myself a little bit like I'll be like, like PTSD looking guy, like start sweating like it's Vietnam hearing chopper, but then I'll go crazy. I'll hit the spider with my bare hand, but not a hand. I knuckle up. He gets a nice,
You knock it
nice
out.
knuckle sandwich, and I'll punch it. I don't. If it's on the ground, if it's above me, I'm running. But if it's like maybe eye level or a little bit lower, I'm gonna punch the spider. Or if it's on the carpet, I'm punching it. And yeah, I punched the spider, and it makes you feel empowered. And then you're like, yeah, and then another one comes, and you run.
I can't touch it.
If it was that big, no,
I can't even punch it. I don't want it on my skin.
it depends on how big it is. If the spider's
What's your threshold?
maybe like this.
It's like a half an inch.
they can't see. Yeah, like maybe like a half an inch or a couple centimeters. I'll punch it. Like, remember our last recording? I don't even remember if I kept it in or not.
I flicked it.
Yeah,
and then it reemerged.
Yeah, it was a little baby spider. There's one in here somewhere. I haven't killed it.
Oh
yet.
yeah, you keep count of them. I know that.
Yeah, I've been letting him live a little bit. And the reason being is because I want to know where he's at and if he's making children, and I'm gonna kill his children.
One of my dogs, he noticed a spider on the ground, and he picked it up and flung it. Little did we know, this spider had its babies on its back.
Ooh.
So you just see like 1,000 little baby spiders flying everywhere, and they're all over the ground. Oh, it's so nasty.
Oh, I would have started stepping like crazy.
It was Chachi, so you know how he has long hair?
Yeah. Oh, it was on his hair?
I don't know.
I would run.
Yeah, it's nasty.
I'll just leave him outside. Let him fend for himself.
Yeah.
My dog, she ended up one day, I was in my kitchen, and I moved. We have a cushion in the kitchen and like not in the kitchen, whatever, wherever she wants to go. So I moved the kitchen vacuum one day, and there was a pretty big spider, man, like pretty, like almost 2 inches, like you're saying.
Ooh.
And half his body was ripped in half because my dog killed it, apparently, and I didn't even know.
And she's got your back.
She'll slap him and stuff, and I'm just like, no, I just squash it. I'm like, boo, squash it, kill it, kill it for me. Like, I'm not about to do that, like that's, or like sometimes I'll ask my brother, I'll be like, hey, Adam, yeah, I'll be like, kill this. He'll be like, what? I'm like, kill the spider. He'll kill it for me. He don't care. He knows I'm too wuss sometimes to get. We're driving one day. We're on the highway. I was with my brother. I was in the passenger seat. Spider just walks up out of nowhere, and I was half sleepy, so I was like, I was slowly getting up, and then all of a sudden, out of my vent on my car, just the spider starts crawling out, and then I went to go hit it, but it jumps.
Oh,
yeah. So it jumped on my leg, and then I'm like slapping it off. And then I'm kicking the ground because I think I see it, but it falls into the carpeting of my floor.
Yeah.
But in the carpeting, it's like the rubbery one, so it has the little sections it could go in. So it was safe. So I'm over here like a crazy guy, just stomping out the ground, and my parents are in the back seat cracking up because they know it's a spider, and they just laughing at how I'm reacting with it. I'm just stomping. And it looks like I'm trying to stomp out a fire or something, and people are just passing by. And I'm stomping at the spider because it's super gross. I wouldn't have a problem with spiders if they would just stay in, the grass or somewhere that, I can't see them.
Yeah.
If you stay hidden and not in my house, I'm good.
And stop being, a little weirdo with 8 legs or something.
Yeah, they're ugly. I don't care for them bug activists. These spiders are nasty. I'm sorry. They're disgusting. I know. I get they're good for the population and everything, but again, stay away from me or I'm gonna kill you. Sometimes I'll leave a spider just dead. Purpose.
Oh shit!
What?
There's a centipede on the floor.
Oh, what? No way, man.
Yeah, over there.
Oh gosh. I gotta stop the recording. Or you keep talking. I'm
gonna commentate.
Where is it at?
It might be under the futon.
Oh no! Seriously?
Yeah, I'm dead serious, man.
Oh, I knew I seen something black.
Justin is currently running to get a paper towel. I am standing on my seat, like the little chump I am.
You gonna help me find it?
Ah, hell no, man. I can't even touch the ground right now.
I got this.
Oh, you got a little zapper. Justin has a zapper, and he's ready to zap it.
Where's it at?
You gotta bust out a flashlight. You gotta really.
Oh, dude.
It's grossing me out because I don't know where it's at, and it was a decent sized one, man.
It was huge. I seen it, right? Didn't you see it sideways?
That was so weird. We were talking about it, and I was just like. What the hell?
I looked off the side with the corner of my eye. I was like, I seen something black.
Dude. All right. feel like I gotta shake my jacket now.
Where was it? See, the spiders don't do anything because it did not kill that centipede.
Well, I don't think the centipede could really. I don't think a spider can really combat a centipede. Oh man.
Oh, bro, where was it?
All right, this is getting a little serious, so we're gonna have to pause this or something.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so we're back from screaming like little girls.
Update.
Our feet are currently not touching the ground. We did not find this suspect.
Yeah, so we have no clue where this, for lack of a better term, bastard is. I have no clue where he's at. He can't. So what had happened was I seen out of my corner of my eye something black move, but I didn't really think anything of it. And then Junior was like, "Oh, it's a bug," and I thought he was just playing off the fact that I was looking right, but no, I did see something, and yeah, so we're looking for it very timidly. Is that the word for it, or afraid?
No, yeah, we're
Fearfully.
Fearfully.
Yeah, we're fearfully looking for that nasty. You know, we were talking about spiders, but the next thing is centipedes. Centipedes are disgusting. And now we were just attacked by one in the studio.
We were attacked by its presence.
I feel traumatized.
Yeah, we're gonna be finishing off this podcast with some high tensions.
Yes. So we're looking around, so if we seem a bit distant in the microphone, or if we cut again, we're probably swatting at this nasty thing. I am sitting Indian style on the futon in our studio.
Yeah.
So that's not... Why did this happen so conveniently? I don't know.
Podcast?
Fate?
You know?
I mean, this is like one of those moments where I wish we had a visual podcast because you guys would have been able to see the mayhem that ensued. We listened back to that section because like I didn't know what was going on. I just ran to get the bug zappers that we have in the studio that I forgot I had bought. So that way we can murder any sort of nasty cretin that's trying to eat us. And, yeah, so we can't find it, and I'm freaked out. I watched later in the studio when we're getting ready to leave from here. It's probably going to come out when I'm just by myself.
It's probably going to crawl on one of our feet as we leave.
Yeah. And then we'll probably take a picture of it so people know we're not exaggerating.
It'll probably be super small.
Oh, yeah. It was black, though. If it's black enough for me to see out of the peripherals of my eyes, that thing must have been huge. There's no way. I just seen, like, something black, and I thought it was, like, on the seat, if anything. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to ignore it. Maybe it was nothing. And then Junior's like, whoa! Oh my gosh. I mean, after that, I don't know how to continue. This is scary. I'm looking around. I have electric baton with me, ready to kill this. Or it looks like badminton, actually, or tennis.
A little badminton racket.
Yeah, we're good at badminton, so that's why I got the specific racket for him, because I know we'll hit a birdie if we need to.
Did you have one more weird World Wide Web?
If I did, I totally
yeah.
It popped out. It went in and went out now after this whole experience. Okay. It jumped in my head. So there was something weird. I guess it's semi-news related, but I mean it's on the internet. It's weird.
Yeah.
So you know like the OK sign?
Yeah.
And you know, like the joke where you put the OK sign a little bit lower towards your body, like your thigh or something, or your leg or whatever.
Yeah.
And you make someone look. It's almost like a made you look game. And if they see that,
made you look, you're gay.
Yeah.
That's how I remember it. Was people were like, "Oh, you're gay for looking down there."
Exactly. Or it was just like, oh, like, got you type of thing. It was just a made you look game.
Yeah.
So people have been doing it as like a meme and stuff, and it's pretty popular, and I think it's pretty funny. But as of not, I guess semi recently, I remember seeing this in the news a while ago, but I also seen it recently in the news too. But it's like one of those things where now the news is trying to make it a white power symbol. They think it stands for white power.
The news, I did see this also. The news has tried to make it a white power symbol, and I think it has caught on.
Yeah, it's catching on as a white power symbol because you're making it a white
Yep.
power symbol. It's because like when you hold it upright, when you guys yourselves hold up your hand to your face, and just push your hand at your face and just slap yourself real quick. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, you hold up your hand and then make that okay sign, and when you make it, it makes sort of like a W, and then the I guess circular look with your index and your thumb finger make sort of a P. I don't really see the P.
I don't see the P.
To me, it looks like okay, but that's what they're saying is like it's a W, and then they're saying it's P.
I mean, if you were to hold your hand and instead of making a circle with the thumb and the index and kind of have them pointed out, all right, I get it. It kind of looks like 3Ks staggered in a way, like K and staggered K. I guess I get it.
I can't even do it right like that.
Yeah, I guess something like that.
Yeah, we're trying something. I know you guys can't see it. Again, I wish this was a little bit more visual, but it makes it easier to edit. Anyway, so yeah, like that's a weird thing on the internet to me. Like that's weird. Why a game that started from what I think Malcolm in the Middle.
Maybe.
I remember seeing a clip from it, and
I've seen it in everything.
yeah, so it's spawning.
I most notably remember it from The Love Guru.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie. I'm probably gonna see that tonight. Why not? Treat myself. Treat
Yeah.
yourself, type of thing. Yeah, no. I remember it from Malcolm in the Middle, and it was like a scene where the brother gets him. He's like, and then punches him in the arm, and he's like, "Made you look." But yeah, like that's ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
I don't think the news is like a bunch of outdated people trying to get everyone up to date.
One of the funniest things I've seen in current news right now is the whole "Okay Boomer" thing.
Oh my gosh, why did that even reach to the news? That's my question.
I don't know. And
Now it's like becoming derogatory or something like
yeah,
that.
and they're trying to make it like it's at the same level as saying the N-word.
Yeah, they're like, okay, boomer. Oh, how dare you? I'm a boomer, baby. I mean, we could probably describe what okay, boomer is, right? Like that's
Yeah.
it's kind of a joke saying like it's geared towards the humor of boomers, which is what the age range from 19, I think what the 60s.
If you're born, I think in the 72s, because it wasn't after World War II, they had the booming of like people having
the
babies.
booming of babies after the
booming
bombing.
of bobbies, the booming of bodies
look
that
that
created
up.
some babies.
Yeah, let me look that up while you guys.
Wait here patiently in silence.
Yeah.
And I stare at the rug to see if I see.
Yeah,
this
you check
centipede.
for spiders while I check for about this boomerness. Boomer baby.
The whole generation thing is kind of interesting. Like, I know some people will try to consider us millennials. Like, oh, you millennials, you ruin everything.
So
But-
actually, it's sorry to cut in,
Oh,
but
go for
it's from 1946 to 1964.
Yeah.
You're considered a boomer.
That's a
but
big
go-
span.
Yeah.
Oh, but the whole thing with everybody trying to call us a millennial, but I think if you actually look at the years, we're just out of it. I
Yeah,
think
we're
it
Gen
ends-
Z.
I think it ended in like
94. I think.
94, 95.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at.
But the generation, what do they call it now?
What Generation Z?
What's that supposed to be from?
That's
Because at 2000, I think they call them like Alpha Gen or something. I can't remember, but I can't really relate to all that. Just I don't know. Are you? I want to say 96 to 99
Yeah.
is a weird year to.
I think it's they're saying mid 90. I can't get a specific answer, but I got 96 is the most that I've seen so far.
As the end of millennials.
Yeah, and where Generation Z begins. So 96. I'm 97.
I'm 96.
So we're Gen Z. But the Zoomers, as they call them in the meme as well. So boomers and Zoomers.
Nice.
That's the joke. Like, but why are people getting offended by that? Like, oh, well, damn. That was my taser. Yeah, Gen Z, like, why is that an upsetting thing, like, to people, or, like, boomer, I mean.
Okay,
Like, it's funny. It's the joke is just like, you know, they don't get the humor of a Gen Z or millennial.
and that's why.
And that's why they're like, okay, boomer. And then, you know, or the boomers find something funny and the Zoomers
I
don't
think it's
get
just
it.
because they got something on them.
Yeah. And they know that, like, they can't understand, like, social media and how all that stuff works.
Not only that, they found something that you don't really have a response to.
Yeah.
Once you in any conversation, if you're just like, okay,
I seen
That's it.
I seen PewDiePie react to that, and he said, he's like, it's like the was it your mom or was it there was a meme that was like your mom, and then it's like, no you. Do you know that response? It's like I forget the joke. It's something something, and then you respond, no you. And then that was supposed to like be the end of the conversation, like an ultimate like burn. It was a meme.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's a no you meme. For people that are, I guess, fairly up to date with memes, they would know. It was a couple months ago. So, but it's like that sort of thing. Like, you can't respond to it. They're just like, okay, boomer, and then just like offended, I guess.
Pretty much.
It's just so weird.
Zoomers aren't allowed to have anything over boomers while they ruin our country.
Yeah, they destroy. You know, I was thinking about that when we're talking about. I remember last time we were talking about that girl. I forget her name. The individual who's speaking to that global.
Oh, the Greta chick?
Yeah, Greta something. I forget her name. Now I have to research this too.
All right, so boomers, we can't say all of them are ruining everything. We're not being discriminatory towards them. It's just a weird concept that we're letting older people dictate how we live in the country now.
So I might botch her name, but it's Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg.
Thornberry?
Yeah, so she's a Thornberry. But yeah, like she spoke. Where was that at? Do you by chance know that as well?
No.
Or do you need me to look?
You should probably look. I don't know. Wasn't it probably at some like climate change meeting that everybody denies is real?
She was speaking to world leaders at like UN climate change or something like that, and she was pretty much blaming companies and all these people for polluting our air and not doing anything about it.
I could see that.
It's like I could understand that, but I remember you had made a point where it was like, well, you forget about the people too. Like, we're not. I forgot what the point was.
Recently, in this right now?
No, not right now, but it was like maybe like in a either past podcast or just us talking. I think it might have been just us talking. But point is like I agree to this extent where it's like, yeah, it's their fault, but what about us? You know, what about we're still consuming gasoline and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
We're not just gonna stop. Do you believe that we're gonna be able to stop climate change?
Probably not. But I think we should at least try to minimize our effects.
Yeah. I believe that maybe not in my generation, but at least I hope not in my lifetime actually. But I feel like the world would dissipate, get destroyed.
Oh yeah, I
apart
could see that definitely.
pretty soon. Just for the fact that our environment's just getting worse.
Definitely. If you compare how the globe looked years back till now, everything's just like dried out and
Yeah, I mean, you see the wildfires out in California are getting worse. What our Novembers were never really this cold, and or snow on Halloween. Like I remember,
that's normal.
sometimes, not
No,
all the
I
time.
feel like a majority of the Halloweens there was snow.
No, it was rain, but not snow.
Mm,
Yeah, it would be cold, but it wouldn't be like as snowy as we had it. But my point is like, or cold winters, like we had that super cold blizzard last year that like even animals were being frozen, and it was literally the government literally told you not to go to work.
State of emergency.
Yeah, it was a state of emergency for
Yeah.
like everywhere, like in Illinois, Indiana. You just were not allowed to be on the roads. You weren't allowed to go out at all because it was below like zero, or it was like way below zero.
Yeah, it was like negative 50 or something.
It was insane. Again, animals were being frozen in place. Like that's insane to me. So it's like it's getting worse, and it's only gonna get worse. We have technology for electric vehicles and stuff. Like Tesla's got that new electric truck coming out, which is
That
pretty
doesn't
cool.
completely solve the problem.
Yeah, but my thing is like
Just because of the footprint of
yeah,
how that electricity gets to that car.
exactly. It's like we have like semi solutions, but it's still not going to catch on.
Yeah.
No, not everyone's going to get an electric vehicle, even if, it's inevitable. I commend her, her trying to be a person to do climate change because I believe that no matter how young you are, you have a voice and you can speak out against things that you feel are wrong. And that's what she was doing. And when the news was like calling her crazy and all that stuff, that was weird.
Yeah.
One guy was like, "What?
They're
You're
like
gonna
demeaning her.
Yeah, one guy was like, "Yeah, she was mentally unstable." And the guy's like, "Well, why are you calling a 16-year-old mentally unstable?" He's like, "You should not be calling a 16-year-old mentally what's wrong with you?" And the guy was like defending her. It was like on an interview. You guys can look it up on YouTube, and it was insane. But I think our problem is with the news. The news recently has just been so toxic, and not in the way of like, okay, there's bad things happening in the world.
It's news and politics.
Yeah.
Everything's just.
It's getting wild.
Yeah.
It's getting wild. I mean, a lot of the candidates now too. I'm not even interested in. Maybe Andrew Yang from Democrat. He seems interesting.
There's a website called isidewith.com. Could be .org. But you could answer a bunch of questions and it tells you who your best candidate would be, like the best candidate for you.
Oh,
would
that's
be.
cool.
Yeah, and the one I got was like, probably doesn't even have a chance.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's all this it's this whole popularity contest and who has the most money to put all the ads out.
That's another thing. It's like
Two-party system.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It's very dumb. There used to be a 3-party system.
Technically, we kind of still do because
Yeah,
it's independent.
but it just doesn't really. It doesn't fit.
Where there's
that's the thing.
independent, and then there was like.
But what, like our House of or Senate?
Green
or
Party.
whatever.
That was the other one. The
Yeah.
Green Party.
It's insane. But we don't pay no mind to them. I like Andrew Yang. He was really cool.
Mm.
He seems very thinking about the long term for America's citizens and everything, and a very
That don't rely on clean coal.
yeah, like he thinks very towards the future, and I really like that in a president, and I think it's important. But we're not going to get political, regardless. Our point is that another weird thing on the internet is like the aspect that the news has just been kind of weird recently,
Yeah.
and it's I don't know. I don't think it's a good thing that they're fear mongering or getting offended over the okay boomer type of thing. No, it's not nearly as close as the N word. You can never compare really much to the N word, and I'll say that because I mean that word was derogatory for like hundreds of years. It wasn't something new, or it was just always been a thing. And yeah, I don't believe we should give words power. I'll say that much.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the less we take from the power of the word, the stronger our society would be. We went from a generation of being not so sensitive to being too sensitive now. From like boomer age and 70s, 80s, like they weren't as sensitive. They're like, yeah, man, like whatever, like they're like more stern and tough and hold it in, like don't be upset type of
Yeah.
thing. Where PTSD was barely diagnosed with like the late 80s or 90s or something like that. And like they're like, yeah, mental health doesn't exist. Now we're like to the point where like mental health exists, but we're gonna get offended towards any sort of joke. We're not gonna pay attention to context. It's crazy. But yeah, you got anything else weird as of this week?
Nothing I can think of.
Nothing? Yeah, I don't have anything. This topic actually was surprisingly longer than what we thought it was going to be. We're at 1:30. So if anything, we're nearing the end of the podcast. And so you don't have any other topics all set up?
Don't.
Yeah, and that was my last one, was about that okay sign. Guys, keep doing it, but don't overdo it.
Or maybe not.
Yeah.
I might get beat up.
Yeah, don't do it in a way that's trying to be derogatory, please. If you're doing it, do it as a genuine, if it's a joke, let it be a joke, but in the right context.
Or, if you're working on something with someone and you can't really yell to them and you're just like, all right, right there. Okay, right there.
He just gets beat up. It's like, yeah, I'm doing okay. You know how many times I'm like, I do the okay sign like as I'm doing good?
It's been a while since it was very common to do it when we were younger, but now it's just kind of stopped.
I do it. I still do it. I'm like, okay.
Oh, well, or when you have a good meal and you're like,
oh, Papa bless. Yeah, but yeah, no, like, yeah. So be careful when you're doing that. What else did we talk? Stay away from spiders
and
centipedes. Touching them, and centipedes, which we still don't know. Again, if we're attacked, we will let you know. Safe to say, I know what the title is gonna be for the second half.
It's also safe to say Justin probably won't sleep well tonight.
Yeah. Well, I won't sleep well because I would think it'd be in the car leaving from the studio.
Or just be in your nightmares.
Yes, it's going to be in my nightmares. But, yeah, no. So, and then, guys, again, be sure to be honest with one another when it comes to dating or any sort of relationship or friendship. Don't be too honest and rude.
And tell people you're hitting them up because you're bored.
Yeah, don't tell them apparently that you're bored, okay? Because apparently people get offended because of that. Again, outrage culture. But yeah, again, be honest with one another. Practice being safe when it comes to getting any sort of relations with one another. Get them background checks. Don't get offended if someone asks you, man or female, doesn't matter. Practice that. I think that's important to practice being safe. Again, thank you for our 74 plays on episode 4. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Please follow us on our social medias. I have the link over in the description of every episode, as well as to the right of when you first get on our page. You can just click on it. It's got our Instagram, Twitter, and a YouTube channel. Again, give us a follow on all of those. Give us a follow on here. Please don't forget, because how are people going to know you support us? Give us a share as well. And thank you to our sponsors for today. Again, guys, this was a 0.5 episode,
and it started very strong until the centipede. So
yeah.
Sorry if the end was a little weak.
Yeah, sorry if it was a bit weird. But that centipede, yeah, really, like you said, threw us off. Threw us way off. I mean, it'll make funnies, I think.
Yeah.
I hope you guys at least enjoyed our freak out for a moment. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, and we are out.
Oh, well, I want to know what you saw that was weird on the internet, man.
Oh,
I saw one dude standing and he just poops himself and shakes it out his leg pant.
Oh, you didn't say that.